When you walk through a Canadian city, it doesn't feel like just one place. It feels like many places, gently layered. On a cold morning in Toronto, you might pass a dozen languages before the light turns green. Hindi, Mandarin, Arabic, spoken in soft clusters at the corner. A man hums along to Afro beats in his car. The scent of Ethiopian coffee slips from a cafe door. And just across the street, a Jamaican bakery with quiet reggae playing, a South Asian grocer with ripe mangoes stacked like gold, a Somali barber shop, its clippers buzzing like bees. This isn't a collage, it's a rhythm. In Canada, multiculturalism isn't a side effect, it's a choice, a deep one. Deliberate, like planting a seed and waiting patiently. To some, it's a mystery. Why here? Why this land of long winters and quiet streets? Why do people from across the earth, from Nigeria to the Philippines, Iran to India, not just visit, but choose to stay? The answer isn't just jobs. It isn't just borders left open. It's something slower. Canada built itself into a kind of shelter, a refuge from a world that often forgets fairness, a place where your accent doesn't mark you, where your skin doesn't decide your future. In most countries, diversity just happens. In Canada, it was invited, and that invitation, given decades ago, rewrote the shape of this country. It started after a war. The world was rebuilding. And Canada, vast and underpopulated, needed people. The land was wide. The industries were growing. But the hands were too few. So the country looked outward and made a decision few others dared. It made immigration not just a policy, but a pillar of national identity. By the 1960s, Canada erased race from its immigration rules. Gone were the preferences for color or birthplace. In their place came something simpler: skill, language, education, and potential. It was no longer about where you came from, but what you could bring. A point system was born. Transparent, predictable, fair, and slowly the world began to answer. Dreamers, workers, families who had lost so much, they came. Then came the refugees. From Vietnam's war-torn shores in the 70s to the fleeing families of Syria and Afghanistan. Canada opened its arms. But more than that, its people opened their hearts. Families raised money. Communities welcomed strangers. They didn't just watch. They participated. And that quiet generosity, it became part of Canada's story. Now, 500,000 newcomers arrive every year. They become more than workers. They become neighbors, doctors, teachers, business owners, artists. They don't just join the country. They help shape it. In most places, immigration feels like a burden. In Canada, it feels like collaboration. Not loud, but steady. Like building a home, brick by quiet brick. At first, many come for opportunity. Better jobs, safe streets, good schools for their children. But what makes them stay isn't on paper. It's something quieter, more human. Yes, the winters are long. Yes, the snow can be endless. But beneath that cold, there's warmth. Not the kind that comes from weather, but from people. A door held open when your hands are full. A neighbor shoveling snow from your walkway without being asked. A bus driver waiting just a moment longer so you can catch up. No one boasts about kindness here. They just practice it, in small, steady ways. And there's safety. A kind many newcomers have never known. Children walking to school alone. Women jogging after dark. A laptop left in a cafe. Still there when you return. This feeling, this invisible shield of trust, it's hard to describe. But once you have it, you don't want to live without it. Of course, not everything is easy. Work can be hard to find. Even skilled immigrants face closed doors. Degrees don't transfer. Experience isn't always valued. Doctors drive taxis. Engineers stack boxes. Teachers start again from zero. It's humbling, frustrating, but they endure because of hope. Hope that their children will live without fear, that their accent won't matter forever, that one day this new place might feel like home. And over time, it does. A favorite coffee shop, a friend who listens, a child who says "A" at the end of every sentence. These small things, they mean everything. Canada isn't a dream for everyone. It has its shadows. The cost of living cuts deep. In cities like Vancouver and Toronto, rent can swallow half a paycheck, sometimes more. Families crowd into small apartments. Strangers share kitchens, hallways, sleeping spaces. The dream of owning a home? For many, it drifts further away. And the job market? It doesn't always welcome equally. You arrive with skills, degrees, experience, but doors stay shut. You're told to start over. Again and again, but still, people stay. Because something stronger holds them here. That quiet hope. That soft belief that one day it will be better. And slowly, it is. A corner bakery opens, Filipino. A new temple rises, Indian. A neighborhood barbershop, Somali. Festivals light up the streets, Chinese New Year, Diwali, Ramadan. All beside Canada Day, barbecues, and Christmas lights. This is not assimilation. It's coexistence. A patchwork of cultures, stitched side by side. Canada doesn't ask you to erase yourself. It asks you to contribute. Bring your language. Bring your recipes. Bring your history. And add them to ours. Because here, belonging isn't about blending in. It's about standing beside. Every snowy morning, every second job, every night spent studying, eyes tired but focused, it all becomes part of a larger, quieter story. Not one of instant success, but of patient building. Canada doesn't hand out guarantees, but it offers something deeper, a foundation, a place where effort grows roots. That's why this land is full of immigrants. Not because it promises perfection, but because it offers possibility. And with every newcomer, Canada slowly changes. Not by removing what was, but by layering stories over stories. Like rings in a tree trunk, each one marking a moment in time. In classrooms, children with different skin tones, different first languages, different gods, stand shoulder to shoulder, singing the same anthem. It isn't just diversity, it's harmony and progress. Unity, not from sameness, but from shared space, shared hopes, shared futures. In small towns where silence once grew, a bakery opens, Syrian bread baking at dawn, the smell of cardamom in the air. In the north, Filipino nurses hum lullabies in hospital wards, keeping the quiet heart of the country beating. In tech cities, startups rise, led by Indian, Chinese, Iranian founders who imagine beyond borders. They are not guests. They are not temporary. They are threads in the fabric. And maybe that's Canada's quiet genius. While others build higher walls, Canada builds longer tables. It opens doors with structure, but also with trust. Because every arrival brings more than a resume. They bring memories, family recipes, songs sung across oceans, beliefs carried through generations. Ask an immigrant why they came. You'll hear many answers: to escape war, to study, to start again. But beneath those reasons is something simple, a longing for peace. Peace to walk at night without fear, peace to speak without shame, peace to raise a child without teaching them to hide. And they find it. Not always in grand gestures, but in quiet places. A bus driver who waits, a neighbor who waves, a teacher who says your name correctly. These small acts add up. They matter more than they seem. Because in Canada, you don't need to erase your identity to belong. You can wear your sari to work. You can say grace or namaz or light a candle for your ancestors and still be Canadian. This country is cold. It is expensive. It is flawed. But it is also generous, resilient, and ever-evolving. Canada was not built on a single story, but on the belief that many stories can live side by side. That humanity, when given room, knows how to hold each other up. That belonging isn't about blending in. It's about standing together. Not loud, but steady and strong.